Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Awesome C.O.D.Y. As usual, I'm your host, C.O.D.Y, and today we are continuing June's theme of awesome comic book adaptations. Anyways, I don't know why I stopped that way. I was thinking of something else to say, and I didn't actually work it all through. Anywho, so this week we're talking about Robert Kirkman and his many projects. Some that are over, and a couple that are still going-ish in a way. I'll get to that in a minute. So Robert Kirkman, I've talked about before on this here podcast, and one of the shows that he did, I talked about on this podcast as an adaptation before. But the reason why I want to bring him up is because he kind of has a lot of things going on, some that are still going, some that have not started, and some that ended, as I said before. So Robert Kirkman has written several comic books over the years, many for the big studios. Well, I shouldn't say some for the big studios, but anyways, he's done a few things for other studios. Image Comics obviously is his biggest publisher, which he is actually kind of sort of involved in. He is a co-founder along with Todd McFarlane on many a lot of different people in Image Comics, but he as part of the group, the people who created Image Comics, he was I don't even know what his title is now, to tell you the truth. I don't think it says on here what his actual title is in the world of Image Comics. Let's see if the Image Comics says. I know he's a key figure in it now, and I should have looked this up beforehand. He's the COO. He's the Chief Operating Officer of Image Comics now. Like I said, he has done a lot of different things. One of the things he did was with co-founder Todd McFarlane. He wrote a comic book called Haunt. He has his own imprint through Image Comics called Skybound, which actually does a lot of different things. Not just comic books. They've done at least one movie, I think. It's a multimedia company. I don't know if it's going to tell me anything about it in here. Probably not. It doesn't actually matter because we're not talking about that. But he does a lot of other things, and I want to say there's a movie he did. They've done TV shows as well. I mean, obviously, a lot of his TV shows have Skybound involved in them. But anyways, so Kirkman has written a lot of things, a handful of things for Marvel, a shit ton of stuff for Image Comics under his own imprint, as well as just Image Comics in general. He started off with a publishing publishing company that he started when he first basically started writing comic books way back in the olden days, and it was called Funkotron Productions, I believe, and I don't remember what year it started. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. That's not what we're here to talk about. And so he is, like I said, he's done a lot of things, a lot of different properties out there. Some of the biggest ones, Invincible, Walking Dead. He worked on some Marvel Zombies, The Irredeemable Ant-Man, which is a fantastic run, Thief of Thieves, Outcast, Oblivion Song, a book called Die, Die, Die he did with his co-producer from The Walking Dead, Scott M. Gimple. and it was one of his most recent ones is Firepower. At one point in 2000 and, well, let's see, 2010, he had The Walking Dead, Thief of Thieves, Outcast. Oh no, Outcast hadn't started yet. What was it 2010? Right? Yeah, he had The Walking Dead. He had Invincible. Thief of Thieves. All running like at the same time. He was writing all of them ongoing. There was breaks in between each of them, but he had them all going. It was ridiculous. Most recently, let's see, 2020, for example, he had Firepower, Die Die Die, Oblivion Song, Outcast, Thief of Thieves, all running. So 5 different books at that time. I mean, it was just he just had so many things going, and that's just the stuff he was writing, not the stuff he was producing. The stuff he was producing, that list is way too long. So, anyways, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Has a lot of stuff going on. Had a lot of stuff going on. Will probably always have a lot of stuff going on because he's a very creative dude. So adaptation wise, his most recent one is Invincible. It's on Amazon Prime. The first season just wrapped up a couple weeks ago. They already greenlit it for season 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken, which probably tells me here if I click on it. I don't remember where I saw before. Oh, I saw an article before. I think he tweeted it too. Yeah, so the series is renewed for a second and third season. The first season is 8 episodes long. Kirkman actually wrote the premiere episode and the finale episode for season 1. And he has worked very closely with the people that helped him produce this, which are, well, there's been several people, but the biggest ones that everyone's going to know is going to be Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They are huge into adaptations of comic books. They did Preacher on AMC, which is a fantastic show. They are actually working on, so they did this one. Seth Rogen has so many things going on. They're also the ones behind the Boys on Amazon as well, which he's actually appeared in it actually, which is pretty funny. But yeah, they have that one going on with Eric Kripke, I believe his name is, who's producing that one. And that's a fantastic show too if you haven't seen that one. Awesome book as well. I'm trying to find out where his there it is. Because I know he's got a lot of producing things. Not that one. They don't have a list of all of them here. Well, that's stupid. He has a lot of stuff going on. Invincible, The Boys. That's not really the show I was thinking of. Anyways, yeah. So he's got a bunch of stuff going on. Like I said, Preacher was one of his earlier ones. They're doing a bunch of different stuff. Him and Evan Goldberg, along with the creators of the books and stuff like that too, which is pretty cool. But anyways, back to Robert Kirkman stuff and Invincible. So Invincible is currently available to watch on Amazon Prime if you have it. I don't know of any other way you can watch it other than through Amazon Prime, but give it a shot if you want to check it out. It was distributed by Skybound and what is the name of that one? Amazon Studios. I was trying to remember what the name of it was. I found the link I was looking for earlier that I could have swore I had pulled up already. For Skybound, because Skybound, there it is. Air is the movie I was thinking of that they produced with Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, and Jamon Housen, I think is, or Housoon, I think is, I can't remember how to say his name ever because I'm terrible with names in general. But they've done, I mean, several different things. Skybound has, besides comic books, obviously, and they have games. They have a bunch of different other things that they do, and it's kind of ridiculous. But, good for him, and it's awesome that he's doing all that stuff. And I hope he does more stuff, especially Oblivion Song. If you're listening, Robert, I would like to see that made into something somehow. Not a movie. It's too in-depth for a movie, a TV show. Get Amazon to pony up the money for that. It'd be fucking rad. Anyhow, so Invincible, if you don't know this show is, or the comic book, I believe I've talked about this on here before, but Invincible is a story about Mark Grace, who is half human, half Viltrumite. His father, an alien, is the world's first superhero. I mean, I don't think he was technically the world's first superhero. Is he touted as the world's first superhero in this one? I can't remember if he is or not. Anyhow, that's not where we're at here. He is analog for Superman, obviously being misplaced from his home world and put on Earth. The difference is he wasn't shot here by his parents in the last-ditch effort to save his life from the destruction of their homeworld. Instead, he is sent to Earth to prepare it for conquering by the Viltrumite army, and he falls in love. He then has a child, and he realizes once Mark has come to power that he can no longer do what he was sent out to. He sees too much of his son as a potential equal. He also sees the love that he has for his son and his wife, and has to turn his back on both of them to essentially save them from the Viltrumite army. He thinks it doesn't really go that way, but anyways, so that's a nutshell of what's it about. And it's basically the whole thing's about Mark becoming invincible, the superhero, and growing into his powers, growing into the role of a superhero, and obviously the ultimate betrayal of by his father, and the rebuilding of his life and his world, and the wreckage that was left by his father Omni-Man in their knockout, dragged out battle that should have ultimately been left with dead Mark Grayson / Invincible in a very, very violent and dominating Omni-Man. But he, again, his humanity, it cracked through, and he realized he couldn't do it, and then he left, and you'll find out what happens from there, including another half brother that Mark gets, and things like that. Spoiler alert. So that's that. So that's the one currently going on. A past one that also currently going on is The Walking Dead and the Fear of the Walking Dead, which is a spinoff from The Walking Dead. That, of course, is one of the biggest adaptations of all time from anything, of any media whatsoever. I mean, it's outlasted Game of Thrones. I would arguably say much better handled than Game of Thrones. Walking Dead has had its low points. It is still a very popular show. It will be ending here. The main show will be ending as of August 22nd of this year. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Beginning of next year. The beginning of that season is this year in August. August 22nd of 2021 will be the beginning of the last season, which will run, probably if it goes like anything else, it'll run through till October, take a 2 or 3 month break, and then season 11 part B or part 2 will begin right after Super Bowl, so 3 months off or so, and then conclude that portion of the show There are spin-offs. One which is currently running, and that is the Fear the Walking Dead. That is, I don't think it has an end date announced for it. I know they're about to be starting season 6 here soon, I think. No, yeah, 6th, I think. I can't remember which one it is. You have The Walking Dead World Beyond, which is poised to come out, or I'm sorry, did come out last year in October. It will consist of 2 seasons. Then there's a spin-off series that features Daryl and Carol. I've never noticed how much that rhymes. Or maybe I have. I don't know. Which will basically be planned to start after the conclusion of the 11th season of The Walking Dead, which will start in 2023. There's Tales of the Walking Dead, which was or is an anthology series that's going to be movies, episodic. Well, it's episodic. I can't remember if it's out like feature-length movies or not. But that's gonna be. I don't think it has a date yet set for that one. But it's gonna have new and existing characters from The Walking Dead. And it's gonna basically explain or explore backstories of those characters, where they were before, where they are now, and that sort of thing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's The Walking Dead stuff. Pretty cool, nifty, neato show. His previous shows that he had out, he has a couple. He had Outcast, which was on the Cinemax channels on cable television. That one was 2 seasons long. Was actually really good, I thought. It had Patrick Fugit as the main character from the book. Probably the biggest difference is, I think, roughly age, or at least the way they look, because Patrick Fugit has like kind of a baby face and looks a little younger. But he plays Kyle Barnes, who is a young man struggling with the effects of demonic possession. It's a very interesting story. They did a really good job capturing it on a pretty low budget, probably. But it was actually really well done. I thought it was very well acted. I know it was canceled after the second season, or halfway through the second season. Actually, I think they announced the cancellation of it. But really good show. I actually liked it quite a bit. I don't think the biggest problem with that show is it was before, I think it was actually made before its time, because I believe it was optioned for a television show before the release of the first book, I think. I think it was. I think they announced that it was picked up for a show or for a season, I think maybe just a pilot. I can't remember how much of it was picked up right away. I don't know if it was a full season. I don't remember, but I know they announced it before Outcast even came out, which they've done a couple times now with stuff. Thief of Thieves is the other one I'll talk about in a minute. That one is in development heck for sure. But Outcast had a good run. It was very well done. I think it was ahead of its time. I say that it was only 5 years ago, but I think in the landscape we are in now, Outcast could have been one of the biggest shows on almost any streaming service nowadays. But would have benefited from the technology advancements and things nowadays. And I say that 5 years ago, you think, oh, technology, there's a crazy amount of stuff you can do now for much cheaper in a production standpoint. But also you could just focus more on that. And I think it was more of a grasping for projects to go along with the essentially the popularity of Walking Dead really helped spur that along, and unfortunately, Outcast was the one that did not make it all the way out. So the other show that I was talking about is Thief of Thieves. Thief of Thieves is a comic book. I don't know why I had to explain that out loud. That is dumb. It's a very good comic book, by the way, and it's still running. I believe. I think they're coming up to the end of it. I actually don't know if they are or not. I think they are. I think they're getting ready to end it this year. Or is it actually over? Did it end last year? Could have swore Thief of Thieves is still going, because I know that I think they announced more of it. Anyways, so it is a comic book. The show itself, again, it was announced that AMC was developing a television drama based on the series before the first issue actually dropped in stores. It was a huge buzz online that they had picked this up for. They had optioned it, and they set a gentleman named Chris Eagley, who was poised to be the showrunner if the project got picked up. That was way back in 2011 or 2012, something like that. And then it has literally been a no-go ever since. Several times over the years, Kirkman has said that the adaptation is still in development and that they're still working hard to bring it to the screen. To me, it just seems like AMC should give up on it and let someone else have a poke at it, maybe. I don't know too much about what's happening back behind the scenes because, I don't know nobody that does that. But it almost seems to me that's a weird thing that this show can't be made because, I mean, it's a Ocean's 11 style super thief. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I can't really boil it down to like one thing. But basically, it focuses around a gentleman named Conrad Paulson, whose alias is Redmond, who is a master thief, and his family and the Thieves Guild, which he is part of, and the crazy inner workings of the world of thieving or thievery. Has a lot of really good character. I mean, several good characters. I shouldn't say a handful. It has a ton of them with all cool real nicknames in them. Pretty cool. There is FBI agents. There are crime syndicates, which I am escaping the name of right now. They call them something. The cartel. I was like, man, there's a name they're using that happens to do with a lot of shit that's being stolen and different things like that. I just scrolled down further to see the name. That's why I was spacing on it. They, like I said, the show, it would almost be like akin to. Did you ever, if anyone's ever seen the show, is it White Collar? Yeah, White Collar on USA. That show, but instead of being like like he's captured by the. It's hard to explain. There's a lot of over the. I mean, how many issues in this one had? 40 something issues, 43 issues. the characters have changed a lot. The characters are in and out of it. Some never to be seen again. But the characters have been developed to be extremely well, or depth in them. They're a bunch of scumbags as well. But it's so well done, and it's fantastically written by several people. Kirkman started it, but a pantheon of writers have come in, including Nick Spencer, one of my favorites, which I believe I've talked about on here before because of his work with Christian Ward on Infinite Vacation. But I can't think of the other people that have written it, but I could have looked it up, but I'm not going to. Anyhow, it was announced in 2000. Oh, here it is. That's where I saw it. It was the comic book was announced in 2010. AMC announced a year later that they've optioned it for a show, and in 2011, like I believe I said earlier, and then the book came out shortly thereafter, in 2011, I believe. Nope, 2012 was the first one. And it was there's the list of writers: Robert Kirkman, Nick Spencer, James Asmus, Andy Diggle was the other one I was thinking of too. But they optioned it, and it's been sitting around for the last 10 years with nothing going on. And I think they either need to shit or get off the pot with it, I guess. Give it to somebody else, let someone else make it. I don't know what the hindrance of it is. I didn't really look up to why, but I just know that it's been, has been in development hell or heck for a very, very long time, and it is unfortunate because it's fantastic, and it needs to be seen by the mass amount of people. The other project that Robert Kirkman has made and is no longer running, I believe, they only did one season of it, 26 episodes, I believe, is Super Dinosaur. Super Dinosaur is based on a character that was created by Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard. It was a Canadian-American CG animated television series and our series with a movie, right? I think there's a movie involved in it too. I can't remember. I haven't seen it. I just found out today while doing research that it is actually available on Amazon Prime. So that's cool. I might check that out. But it was originally broadcast in Canada and then eventually in Australia and a couple other places, but also in the United States. It was on it is on Amazon Prime. I believe I should have looked that up. But yeah, it's the comic book's fantastic. And the show, I remember watching the trailer for it, and I know it's not exactly probably not really pointed at an older audience. I believe it's still more in the realm of children's programming. Let's see here if Super Dinosaur is still on there. I'm pulling up the old appy app here. Yeah, there it is. Super Dinosaur is available on there. There's the show right there. Is it? Yep. There it is. 26 episodes you can watch. But yeah, it's a very interesting, weird program. But anyhow, yeah, so it's something he's made and it's out there. I don't know if they're doing more than just the one season. That was like 2 years ago now is when that came out, 2019. But cool and awesome and whatever. It's based on a pretty cool book. 2018 is when it premiered. It ended its first season in January of 2019. 19, so again 2 years ago is when it ended. But yeah, it's that's if you get kids and you want to show them something that old Robert Kirkman worked on, you can show them Super Dinosaur over on Amazon Prime. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to Robert Kirkman stuff. He's, like I said, he's done a lot of different things, and a lot of them are awesome, and he's got more to come, I'm sure. Things like Oblivion Song would be fucking amazing to be made. I mean, he's got tons of stuff that he could really do work with, or could be made into different things. And again, like I've always said for comic books, I think unless they're one-shot stories, lend themselves to television programs or even miniseries for some of these, and that's proven with Walking Dead, because obviously it's one of the most popular shows of all time, based on a comic book by him. But that's about it. I've done rambling about Robert Kirkman and his work. I know there's some stuff I skipped because it was not really talking about his comic books as much as his shows based on his comic books. But yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Tune in next week when we wrap up June's theme, and we'll be wrapping up with Brian K. Vaughan and some news about some stuff he's going on. Hopefully, biding my time, we may get a trailer for something that's been being worked on by him, but we'll see. And that's about it. Thanks for listening. I have been your host, Cody. This has been The Awesome with Cody, hence the reason your host is Cody. And like I always say at the end of these, let's be awesome.